What's up, everyone? How are we all doing? So there was a UFC card this Saturday. I made some predictions about it, and let's just say I got a couple of them wrong. But by a couple, I mean I only got one of them right, and that was the most obvious pick of them all. But hey, we move on. Let's talk about it. First of all, I just want to say it was a great card. It was a great stream. Thank you to all of those who turned up, watched even a couple seconds of the stream. Honestly, means a lot. Hope you enjoyed the card. Hope you enjoyed the stream if you popped in. If you didn't, make sure you pop in on the next one. Probably going to be either the UFC London stream or let me see the events list I have it right here. Yeah, if it's not going to be the UFC London stream, it might. Then the next one's probably going to be 291, or I'll get some other stream in there. I don't know, but definitely 291 is coming in, when is it? End of July. So yeah, if you missed this one, make sure you tune into the next one. But yeah, let's go over all the fights. Starting off with Bo Nickel versus Val Woodburn. Honestly, we all predicted Bo Nickel to win, and to win in rather dominant fashion. I did not know he would get it done this quickly and in that kind of fashion. Like, Bo really showed that there's levels to this, and he fought a guy with a better record than him. A knockout artist, in fact. And literally, few shots, jab, straight right, out. Or rather, straight left, I think he's a southpaw. But yeah, just a few jabs, crosses, he was out. Crazy. Bo Nickel, he could wrestle, we obviously knew that. But now you're seeing this is his second pro KO. He's got power too. Like, it's crazy how you have a guy who can wrestle on such a high level, and he can also put your lights out like that. Bo Nickel is a force to be reckoned with at 185. So now that we're done with the positives, let's move on to everything that I got wrong. Now, this one I'm not too mad about. Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker, because Turner was winning in the first round. And then he gassed. Like, I guess if you were to predict anyone to gas, it would likely be Jalen Turner, simply because of how fucking huge he is for a lightweight. It makes sense that he got tired a bit quicker. But he just faded. And Hooker, obviously, I think he broke his arm or his wrist in the first round. Great performance despite that injury. You know, it's hard to fight when literally one of your arms is not functioning. But Hooker got it done, and I have no idea why it was split. I think one of the judges gave Turner the third round, which I was just so confused. I'm like, if you want to give the fight to Turner, you think he won 29-28. I think the second round, I could have understood the argument. I mean, I disagree. I think it was a 29-28 for Hooker. But if you're going to give him one of either rounds 2 or 3, it would definitely have to be 2. I have no idea who that judge is that gave that third round to Turner. It made no sense at all to me. No sense at all. But still, great performance for Hooker. He had the pink hair going afterwards after all the blood. But yeah, that one I'm not too mad about. In all honesty, I'm not too mad about that one, because I said that I could see Hooker winning, but I predicted Turner. So again, I could have gone for an upset on that one, and it would have obviously been the right pick, but not too mad about it. Whitaker versus Duplessis, this one I am a bit more mad about, because I was so confident in that Whitaker pick. Like, out of all my picks other than Bo Nickel, I was so confident that Rob would go in there and piece him up. In all honesty, I had no idea Dracus had this in him. Like, I watched his fight against Brunson. I watched his fight against Till. I did not see that Darren Till. Like, obviously he knocked out Brunson, but they both gassed by the end of the second round. He choked out Till in the third, but just that crazy power to knock down a guy like Rob. who hasn't, been knocked out other than the first Izzy fight. Even in the second one, Rob wasn't finished, and he arguably won against Izzy in that second fight. That's what some people were saying. So I did not give Duplessis much of a chance, but he surprised me. That was an incredible performance by Duplessis, and looks like he's going to be the next challenger. Now, I think we're put in an interesting position. The UFC, in my opinion, was banking on Whitaker winning this fight and then fighting Adesanya at 293 in Sydney. Now here's the problem, and while I said in my middleweight contenders video that I do believe the neutral fans should be rooting for Duplessis in this fight, now that he's won, let's envision this scenario. Duplessis calls out Adesanya for what he's saying is that he's not the real African. Adesanya responds saying that he is the real African and that Duplessis is in fact not the real one. So what he ends up doing is fighting him in Sydney, Australia, where Adesanya is the hometown favorite. Do we not see the problem with this? And how Adesanya will literally be, the crowd cheering for him will be proving Dracus's point. Like, what is Adesanya supposed to do there? If he embraces the cheering of the crowd, then I guess he sort of accepts Dracus. I don't want to say he accepts that Dracus is the real African, because that's obviously not how it works. But he sort of gives into Dracus's claim. And then if he rejects the crowd, then that's just an asshole thing to do. So Adesanya is going to be in a very, very tough position here. I do not know how he responds to this. Do they even do the fight in Sydney, or do they do it in neutral territory? Possibly on the December card. They're definitely not going to put it on the November card. Do they do it on the October card in Abu Dhabi? I don't see that happening either. I mean, in all likelihood, you want Adesanya to fight in Sydney. But when it's against Duplessis, it's going to be wild. And honestly, I'm all here for it. Duplessis pleasantly surprised me on that one. And in all honesty, I'm glad that he's the one that won, because it does give Izzy a new challenger, and that's going to be exciting to see. When you beat all these guys so many times, he beat Rob twice, he beat Vettori twice, he beat Cannonier, he beat Pereira, even though the score isn't settled there. That's a new challenger. That's someone that Adesanya's never faced before, and I'm intrigued to see how he responds. Moving on to the co-main event, this one hurt me, because if I was just looking at this from a neutral perspective, this would definitely be one of those fights where I would be very open to picking the upset and going with Pantoja, especially considering the fact that he's already beaten Marino twice. But me being such a big fan of Marino, I let my personal bias play in, and I did not give Pantoja a chance. And that was not the greatest idea, because Pantoja won, and he won rather convincingly in my eyes. I think I had it 48-47. Some judge scored it 49-46 Marino, which makes no sense to me. I'm looking at the scorecards right now. All three judges agreed that round 1 went to Pantoja, and then round 2 went to Marino. So far, so good. Round 3 is where they're split. 2 of the judges had it for Pantoja. I had it for Marino, actually. And then the part that confuses me is how all 3 judges had round 4 for Marino. But in my opinion, I had Pantoja winning round 4. Maybe I'm the one that scored incorrectly. Perhaps I need to rewatch it one more time. But it looked like round 4 pretty convincingly went to Pantoja, especially with the takedowns. And then this is the one that I don't get most of all. How does this judge give round 5 to Marino? Like, I love Brandon. He's probably a top 3 favorite fighter for me currently in the UFC. I was cheering for him to win. Just his whole personality, I love it. How do you justify giving the last round to Moreno? I do not get that in the slightest. Like, makes no sense to me. As for who's next, I know a lot of people are suggesting perhaps another fight between those two. It was a great ass fight. Like, in all honesty, it was an amazing fight. I'd be open to seeing them running it back, but when you've beaten a guy 3 times and you're the champ, what's your incentive to a 4th fight? Moreno has to get back to the top. Then again, who does he fight? Brandon Royval? He's likely going to be the next challenger. Does he fight Figueiredo for a 5th time? Does he fight Carl Franz, who he already beat twice? Does he fight... I keep on forgetting that guy's name. What's the name of the guy that beat Carl Franz? Amir Albazi. Yeah, that's the guy that I believe beat Carl Franz, and a lot of people are saying it's a robbery. I actually did not rewatch that fight, so I'm gonna have to rewatch it back. But yeah, I did have it for Carl Franz armor the first time I watched it. That's beside the point. Either Albazi or Royval will be the next challenger, and in that case, does Moreno fight the other? I mean, if you're gonna score it based off of ranking, Albazi is the number 3 contender. Royval is the number 4. Does Albazi get the shot before Royval? I do not know. Gonna have to wait and see. I feel so bad for Brandon. Like, I love that guy. Nonetheless, congrats to Pantoja, and I honestly see him being a champion for a long time. And even if he doesn't win his next fight, you could tell he's always a problem, and he's very tough to put away, and he sticks around for all 5 rounds, giving it his all. And his performance in the later rounds is what won him the fight, in my opinion. Now we move on. Actually, wait, is there another fight I didn't talk about? I think we're done here. Is there another one? Oh, the main event. Right. I didn't make a prediction about it, did I? And if I did, it wasn't the wrong one, certainly. And it's not like someone reminded me of this prediction. Listen. I did mean the prediction, genuinely. I meant it. I thought Yair would win. But part of it was obviously that I wanted to say the thing that would attract some people, because I said the thing that literally nobody believes. So did I mean it? 50-50, I guess you could say. But the attention that I'm getting from this is honestly, thank you, truly, thank you to everyone for taking the time out of your day to type in the comments about how wrong I, honestly, you don't understand how much it means that I put out a piece of content and you take time out of your day to not only watch it, but then comment. Like, it's the most sincere form of flattery, in my opinion. But a lot of them were really funny. I enjoyed some of those comments. The people that took it personally, I don't know why. Like, you might disagree, you might think it's a dumb opinion, but I don't know why you take it personally. But honestly, thank you to everyone who left a comment. What can you say? Volkanovski is him. Like, truly, he proved that he is levels, and I mean levels, above competition. That's the number 1 guy, and he dismantled him. His last 2 fights at featherweight, the top 2 guys, Yair Rodriguez, Max Holloway, dismantled. Absolutely dismantled. Like, unbelievable. Truly unreal what he did to Yair Rodriguez. The takedowns, the ground and pound, even on the feet. We're starting to get to the point where, and I mean, you saw it by the reaction to my prediction, where Volkanovski is becoming that guy that it's considered somewhat unreasonable to expect his opponent to win. Like, anyone that said, oh, I think Pantoja would beat Moreno, that'd be an upset pick, but it's not like anyone was like, oh, no, that's unreasonable. And as we saw, it's definitely not unreasonable. In the next fight, if I say Sean O'Malley's going to beat Aljo, I don't think there's going to be that many people enraged. I mean, Actually, that one maybe not a great example, but Cejudo versus Aljo. People that picked Cejudo, I didn't see anyone being like, oh, there's no shot that's gonna happen. Same with the lightweight division. If I say I think Oliveira could beat Islam, that's not a crazy prediction. If I think that maybe Colby or Hamzat could beat Leon, maybe that's not that crazy of a prediction. I feel like Adesanya is maybe a bit different because I'll go back to him. Yeah, Jamal Hill. You got Prohaska, you got Blachowicz, you got Ankalaev, you even got Pereira. And with Jones, I think maybe Pavlovich, and that's perhaps it. But other than like Adesanya, I don't think there's anyone other than Volkanovski like that, where you predict the challenger to win, and that's just seen as a completely crazy possibility. Like, and it shows how levels above competition he is. Is he gonna fight on the Australia card? Maybe. Is he gonna fight on the Abu Dhabi card against Islam? That's a possibility for sure. Not enough great things to say about Volkanovski, and I'm excited to see what's next for him because he looked dangerous. And he showed that the featherweights have no chance with him. So that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. A like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more like this. Once again, thank you everyone. I'll see you in the next one.